And welcome to the Know Yourself Revolution Summit and podcast. In just a second, we'll get this right. In just a second. Oh my gosh. We are live. My name is Grace Gravestock. I'm super excited to be here with Sophia Kryst, and we have an amazing story to share with you today. And I can't wait to tell you more about her. I want to tell you a little bit more about her before we get into the story. We're going to look at your human design, Sophia, and show how you're living your life on purpose. You're doing some amazing work, and I'm glad you're here. So Sophia is a coach, a holistic facilitator, a quantum healer, a cosmic channel, and founder of the I Am Presence Center. Sophia's mission is to help everyone that is awakening onto the spiritual path to reveal the divine within by embodying deeper levels of love and igniting the spark of light within, where you can discover the potential available beyond the third dimension. A new world opens up in front of you. By returning to self-love, you are remembering your divine essence and revealing your most authentic expression. It is in this moment that your life makes sense and purpose and inner joy start to fill your being. Connect with the wisdom of your soul and prepare your physical body to increase your vibration and frequency, and remember your connection with the divine presence, source of light, and unconditional love. I'm excited to have you here, Sophia. Thank you for being here.
Thank you for having me here today. I'm so excited to join and be able to share my experiences with everybody so that they can also apply to their lives all these experiences.
Absolutely. There's so much to apply, right? We're all on this journey, and we're in it together. And before we jump in and hear your story, Sophia, I want to just show how you are living your purpose. What I have on the screen is your human design chart. And so what I see when I look at this, oh my gosh, you're so unique. You probably know some of this. I'm going to just point out a few of the things that jump out at me, and then I'm going to ask you what you think. So Sophia, you are so unusual. Wow, you've got 4 motors down here. So all this color, what we're looking at is your energetic blueprint, and everyone has one. And the reason I'm starting this interview with this is because I want you to see, if you're listening, that Sophia is living her purpose. And your number one purpose, if you're wondering what it is, it's to be yourself. It's to be and do exactly what you're here to be and do. You're perfect the way you are. You're not broken, whatever you might think. And when you live in alignment with your energetic blueprint, life can be so much more fun and easy. And it doesn't mean it's going to always be easy. And there's going to be challenges, but it can be easier. And it doesn't have to be so challenging. So with that, what I see in your chart, Sophia, is we're looking at these 9 energy centers. And so all of us are made up of a blueprint, something like this. And we're either broadcasting, that's all the color, we're broadcasting information everywhere we go. And in the areas where we see the white, that is what we're receiving. We have kind of giant receiving dishes. So what jumps out at me immediately about your chart, Sophia, is that you have the capacity to read minds. Are you aware of that?
Well, actually, I perceive the energy very strongly from people. And sometimes this can be challenging because I had to learn to discern what's mine from other people. And at the beginning, I wasn't able to do that. And then sometimes I was feeling something that wasn't mine, and I thought it was mine. So it can be challenging if you don't know how to create your own boundaries, because then you are merging with the other people and their energy.
Yeah, that's absolutely right. I know I had a really big lesson on that when because I did we all have this lesson, but I want to share with you a quick story because it was just such a powerful turning point for me. When you feel that, what Sophia just described, and you feel the energy of someone else, or you feel something you don't want to feel, and it probably is something that somebody else is broadcasting to you. All you have to do is say no within yourselves. I don't want to experience that. I don't want to feel that. And and I would encourage you to experiment with it. This is my experience. When I am aware of that and I say no, all of a sudden I don't feel that person's emotions coming through my body like I did before. So you brought that up, Sophia. Does that, do you do anything like that, or have you found a way that you could share to address that challenge that people might have?
When I was experiencing the most challenging part of this gift, my mentor said, you cannot get rid of your best gift. You have to up-level your gift to the next level and use it on your behalf. So you need to get to create your sacred boundaries and then use it from a place of compassion. And this changes everything. So I had to upgrade myself to be able to understand that every people's feelings is not my problem, is not my issue, is their level of consciousness, and be compassionate with it and accept it. So do not give my power away, but be in my power and accept everybody as they are.
Absolutely. Yes. And I couldn't agree more. When we stand in our own power and we stop giving it away, I mean, that's when our life changes. And that's when my life changed. And I want to save the time for you to share your story, Sophia. So, but let me just jump. I want to say just a couple quick things because I feel like it's going to be relevant to what you're going to say. So when we look here at profile, I'm realizing I have a different version here than I normally do. But what I see is that you're an adept explorer, that 6-3. It's very unusual. And the big thing that jumps out at me about that is you have experienced all kinds of things in your life for the purpose of being a role model. That's what that 6 line is about. And then the 3 line is you've felt a lot of pain and a lot of exploration of life on your own skin. And so the purpose of all of those so many experiences, different kinds of experiences, so that by the time you hit 50, usually there's 3 very distinct life phases, 0 to 30, 30 to 50, and then 50 plus, you can be that role model and you can pretty much have an answer to just about anything anyone asks you. Does that resonate with your experience?
Completely. I went through so much, and this explains everything. All that you see is actually my story and my life.
Yeah, you're so unique in so many ways. I mean, all this color, wow, you're here to have a really big impact. And I know that you are, and I can't wait to hear your story. I just want to share one other thing. So in traditional human design, we call it your incarnation cross. In what I like to call it is your grand purpose. And it's these 4 key codes, 40, 37, 35, and 5. And what that actually means in plain English is that, Sophia, you are here to lead, teach, and inspire others to build sustainable and healthy community and relationship agreements through healing self-worth and alignment around common values. To understand and teach the importance of healthy self-worth as a key ingredient to sustainable relationship agreements and community. Does that sound like what you're doing?
Yeah, it completely aligns with what I'm doing and my purpose in life. So yes, you already read my story. Yeah.
I love it. Well, I love that you're leading by example, and that is specifically part of your life path, is to lead through your example to others. And today I really want to focus our time on you sharing your story. I know that I'm just reading so I don't miss it, but I know you went through 2 very powerful dark nights of the soul. And I know there are a lot of people listening that have experienced something similar, and there's not that much information out there available on how to navigate this one. You talk about the spiritual journey and fully dissolving the ego mind and surrendering to the divine potential, and your entire world breaking up, and it was all about your journey in the ascension process. So and shifting into unity, shifting into the golden age, into the ascending spiral of consciousness, where we experience life in a multidimensional way. Now, I am fascinated by all that, and I think that our listeners are as well. And I know that your story, Facing the Shadows to Reveal the Light Within, is something that I really want to give you space to share, because I know a lot of people are going through this dark night of the soul right now. And so you sharing your experiences and how you navigated that, and where the hope that you have now that you've come out the other side, I think is an important part of the Know Yourself revolution. So where should we start, Sophia, on telling your story? Where does it start?
I would start for the beginning. I had, as you said before, two major initiations. The first one was when I started my process of awakening. And in this process of awakening, my entire world fell apart. So I had a divorce, I had health issues, I had problems with money, with my work, because I was a successful, powerful woman, and something happened there, and I was misplaced. So many things. All my entire life went through a deep process of transformation and breakdown. And from here, my process of awakening began in a very powerful way. I had to learn to start all over, because it was a process of exploration of myself, who I was, my feelings, going deep into all my stuff that was emerging at that moment. And it was quite difficult for me, because I didn't have this foundation of self-confidence, self-worth. The very moment that everything exploded, it was touching so many wounds within me, and I was feeling so much pain, and I had to learn to deal with my emotions. I had to learn how to embrace all the transformation, and also how to shift my perception. So it was about unlearning everything that I'd learned before. That was I was mastering my 3D reality, which is, you master the 3D reality through struggle, through effort, through focus, determination. It's about personal will. You are all in, and then you get success, you get everything that you want in life. I learned to master this. When you start this process of awakening, which means that you evolve into the next level of evolution, shifting from the third dimension to the fourth dimension, this is when all this effort, it doesn't work anymore. And then this is the process in which you learn to heal yourself. You have to heal your wounds, your family lineage, and every part of your reality. So I did so many things. I was in so many courses. I became a master Reiki and learned so many techniques about healing processes. And I felt I had like a ceiling, and I couldn't break this ceiling. I couldn't go to the next level. And also here, I had these issues within myself. Is this my ego structure? Is this that I want to achieve too much in my life? But I learned to trust my inner calling, beyond every thought, beyond every control of my mind. Every time I was listening to my heart and following my heart, I knew I was at the right place at the right time. So for many years, I was trying to heal, and I couldn't make this shift, breaking this ceiling, until the master teacher that was teaching me for many times in the process of ascension was leading groups of people to the jungle. And I went to this this retreat for 3 weeks in the jungle, far beyond civilization. And we went through 5 ayahuasca journeys. This is when I learned to release control, because I never did something like this before. I never have done this before after that. And when I was there, the first experience was letting go control. So it was too much that I was experiencing at that time. I was experiencing all these images, light. My body wasn't reacting anymore. There was this multidimensional experience that I never experienced before. It was too many things to be aware of, trying to control, because my entire life, I had controlled everything. And it was so much overwhelming. Sometimes I even forgot to breathe. And then I was receiving an inner voice that was saying, just allow to let go control and surrender. And I didn't know how to do that. And I was constantly battling with too much information that I was receiving from all over, so many dimensions, so many information from everything, light, color, sound, images, and too much. And my voice was kept saying me all the time, allow to surrender, just let go, just let go. And I didn't know how to do it until it came a moment that I just said, okay, I'm ready to die. I don't know how to deal with all this. I feel that I'm dying, until I couldn't bear all these things anymore. And I said, okay, I'm ready to die. At that moment, I let go control, and the experience already ended. And at that moment, it was like a descending spiral of the ego structure of the control, and then a whole new experience in my life. I was seeing my divine self, my divine presence. I was seeing this huge energy field of love that was, limitless. There was no limits. It was so beautiful. I was shown who I was, and I needed time to understand this was my energy and this was my divine self. I needed some time to be shown over and over again, and I was taught in a way that I could understand from my limited mind to this expanded mind, this process. So it was a profound experience. I was there for 3 weeks, learning more about this infinite self, this capacity of creating. I was shown how creation is a natural thing for everyone when you are in this divine state. I was shown so many things. I was exploring the depths of unconditional love, unity. And when this journey ended and I came back home, I was completely shifted. My entire life was the same. And it was a shock for me. I couldn't understand, how do I apply everything that I've seen, who I had become with my life. Then I understood this was the beginning of my second process. So the first process was when I was the awakening process, the dark night of the soul. And this was the second process in which I was shifting my entire blueprint, letting go everything from the 3D understanding of the mind and my entire blueprint, and then go the process to become that being, that multidimensional being. And this was a huge initiation that took 7 years. So what I was seeing, it was just what would happen in my reality so that I could become this. This means that the next 7 years, which is a karmic cycle or a cycle of completion, I was going through a process in which I was told previously, I had a corporate job, and I was told I needed to quit my corporate job and start my spiritual business. And when the time was right, I just knew it deep within me. It was the right time, and I just quit. I create the I Am Present Center. I built a studio. I create all this process. And then I started for a while until one day I had this dream and this vision that my studio will go through a process of rebuilding. And I didn't understand. I said, look, I did everything from scratch. It's all new. I created everything. It's all perfect. Why do you want to break it down? And they said, we are breaking this down because you are going through a major transformation in which you will go into a more worldwide presence. And since I had this vision until it happened, it was after maybe half a year or more. And when it happened, it was a surprise also for me, because I knew it will happen. But in your daily life, when everything breaks down, it's hard to face it. And then when you go through a major transformation, a major growth, when you grow in quantum leaps, you constantly upgrade your life. And when you constantly upgrade your life, everything that you had previously, it doesn't resonate anymore. This means, again, I had an upgrade of everything in my life, friends, family. If you want to say something, I can stop.
I have a question. So a lot of people listening right now are going through some kind of shift. I know that they are. I feel that they are. And a lot of people are wondering, how do I know if I'm really going through a transformation, or if this is just this is just trouble in my life? Like, how do you know the difference? What would you say to that?
Well, every time you are struggling with something, this means that you have to revisit the way that you face this. So everything that we go through, it's for our own growth. There's some resistance within us that we need to shift the perspective and embrace the process, because there's something that we need to let go or love or embrace or overcome or transcend judgment. So every time we go through any kind of struggle, it's because it's an opportunity for us to grow and an opportunity for love. This means you are in a process maybe or denial or a process of resistance, and this is where you need more compassion for yourself. You need more a new perspective of understanding of the real situation that you are in, and then this changes your experience, and then you raise your vibration, and then you have this capacity to see life from a new perspective, more widened.
I couldn't agree more. I mean, I understand what you're saying, and I know that there are people that are listening that are new to some of these concepts and terms. So when you say raise your vibration, like, how do you know if you are raising your vibration? Like, how can you tell if your vibration is changing? Like, what are the signs that you would encourage people to look for that?
Okay, the lowest vibration is when you are in these feelings of guilt, shame, hatred, anger. This is the lowest vibration. And this is when your life is struggling constantly, when everything comes from effort, when everything that's problems, when everything that you have issues with any part of your life, your job, your beloved, your family, friends, whatever. This is the lowest vibration, and this is the hardest experience in life. in which you are suffering constantly. The more that you transcend, you learn to accept, you learn to love, you learn to forgive, you learn to enjoy life, you learn to shift the perspective, you start raising the vibration. The highest vibration possible is love. This is the process from becoming from the third dimension to the fifth dimension, which is unconditional love. Love means unity, means self-awareness, means cohesion, means community. Love is compassion, love is joy. So the more you raise your emotions, your thoughts to the level of love, to the level of compassion, to the level of joy, you are shifting your reality, and actually everything in your life changes. The way that people react and talk to you, the way they respect you, the way that you experience everything, every situation in life, it becomes smoothly. And then synchronicity starts to show, because you are in this vibration in which you allow everything. You are not in resistance, you are not judging, you are just accepting, and then everything, it's so easy. This is the shift. And this means raising from the densest frequencies, the densest emotion, to these lighter emotions, which is love. So the best way to become this being that is in love is learn to love yourself. So everything is a reflection of who you are. So if you constantly meet people that is angry, it's because you are angry all the time.
Life is a mirror, right?
Yeah. So if you meet people that they do not trust themselves, it's because this is who you are. You attract this, you resonate with it, and they come to you. And then instead of blaming them or blaming the situation, is about self-empowering, taking ownership and saying, okay, I'm going to learn to love myself. I'm going to upgrade all these feelings. I'm going to transcend all this so that I become the pure expression of love. And then this is what I will see in my reality. My reality will completely shift.
I know I heard a long time ago, you have to be before you can do, and do before you can have. And I'm reminded of that as you speak, because it's been my experience that as I've changed inside me, my world outside that I see changes. And so I think that's what you're saying. And when you're talking about how important self-love is, and I love that you're going to talk more about that in a minute. And I know I want you to talk about your inner child workshop that's coming up too. But I think that love, coming from that space of love, is so important. And my experience is that when I love myself more, I see that is reflected in the way that other people can love me. And I know there was a time when I didn't love myself, and I didn't feel like the love that I was able to find was very minimal. And when I realized later, it was in relation to how much I loved myself. So this is an important message. And so when you talk about loving yourself, I know I usually start with know yourself, and my tool is human design. There's lots of other ones, but what would be your advice to somebody who recognizes that self-love is an issue for them and they want to love themselves more? How do they do that if they're not, if they haven't done it so far, because they did the best they could with what they had so far. They know they need to do it, but how to do that? What would you recommend?
Well, the first thing is there is always your highest power is choice. So you can choose, start right now to love yourself no matter what. And sometimes because you judge too much yourself, you need to learn to forgive yourself, no matter what you have done or you have going through or whatever happened in the past that you are not even able to know because it's so hidden within you that you is controlling your life without you understanding that is there. So this is the first thing, the power of choice. I choose to love myself now, because everything changes only in the now moment. It doesn't change in the future. It doesn't change if I decided to start tomorrow or the next week. And the more that you learn to love yourself in the present moment, you shift your past, because past, present, and future, this is only happening in the now moment. This is the quantum reality. So the more you start right now changing everything, you affect your past, you affect your future. Another thing is that every time you feel that you don't have confidence with yourself, you do not love yourself, and others take this power over you, this is the time that in the now moment you say, I reclaim this power to me. I'm not going to give you the power to manage my emotions. My emotions depend on me and how I choose to feel. So it doesn't depend on you, or it doesn't depend on the situation. I choose to be at peace or at love, even if the situation is not the one that I would like to experience. Anyway, life is always giving you whatever you need for your personal growth. So everything is an opportunity for you to choose love, an opportunity for you to grow. So, and this is where we can share. Life happens to you. It happens for you, not to you. Everything that is happening is for your growth. So if you change your perspective and you are trying to focus and saying, okay, I'm experiencing something that I don't really like, why is this happening? Then you can start widening your perspective and saying, okay, what's the lesson here? And the lesson always comes with a gift, always comes with a treasure, always comes with the light behind the shadow. And this is the transformation. So you allow the emotion to be, yet you are not caught by the emotion. You just stay present. You are allowing the emotion, and it dissolves. And the more it dissolves, then the only thing that remains is love.
I love that. And I think the key thing I want to highlight is choice. We do have a choice. And when we take control of our lives and we choose to go through whatever is in front of us, that can make us feel a lot more in control of the change, even though there's a lot of parts of it that we can't really control. But if we choose to be part of this, and if we shift our perspective, like you said, and we can see that life happens for us and not to us, when we accept that, then it's easier. It can be easier to say, okay, I choose to go through this thing in front of me, which is different than resistance, right? It's different than saying, no, I don't want this thing. And then we're miserable. And then there's all this resistance. And really, if we would just allow and go through it and choose to go through it, it would be a lot easier for us.
Yeah. The thing is, sometimes we are in resistance and we don't know it. And this is when you get into the issue and it becomes bigger and bigger and bigger, because you are not able to surrender, you are not able to change the perspective. So this was one of my issues, for instance, with money. I had this fear about not having enough. So I went through the process of not having enough, and my fear was growing and growing and growing. And I kept fearing how I'm going to pay the bills, how I'm going to feed myself, how I'm going to feed my children. So my fear was growing. The more my fear was growing, the more I was experiencing the process, until it came a moment that I couldn't do anything else. Just how I'm going to pay tomorrow, how I'm going to shift my reality. And because I went to the bottom of the process, it came a moment that the only thing left, it was trust. I don't know how I'm going to pay tomorrow. And then the next day, some income came to me. And then I had to learn by the experience that I was supported by the universe. I was supported by my higher self, myself, because I didn't have any other option than to trust. So you go through the experience over and over and over again until you are ready to say, okay, I don't have any other tool than just surrender and trust. And this is when everything changes because you have changed.
Right. And so we can choose to surrender, we can choose to trust. And when we choose that, I believe that that allows different things to happen for us, right? Because then we become receptive and we're no longer resistant. And so then and we are powerful creator beings. And with our words, we create our reality. So if we say, I trust, I know I'm fully supported, then that, the way I see it in my mind's eyes, it just creates an energetic framework for something to come in, abundance to come in that might be obviously is unexpected if I'm in that situation. But choosing, like you said, that's very empowering, to choose and to trust and to know that we're fully supported and to believe that we are, and then let it be shown. Let it be shown.
Yeah, there's one thing here. Yeah, it's important that you speak your truth because words create realities. Yet, until the words match your belief system, there you cannot see the shift in your reality. Because I may say I am abundant, but actually my belief system, it doesn't believe that I am abundant, and nothing happens, nothing changes, because I didn't shift my vibration. My vibration is in fear. My vibration is I don't trust. My vibration is I'm in constant worry. That's why my reality is constantly mirroring me that I don't have anything. Until
we have to be a vibration match to what we want to create. So how do we shift those beliefs? I think that's the big question that people want to know. Do you have an answer for that? How we can shift those beliefs?
Yeah, this has been my entire life because I went through so much, and this is actually facing the shadow that you don't want to see. It's actually facing every fear and just transmute it into love. And it's actually being aware of all your judgments, because every belief system that is not in resonate with abundance, love, peace, harmony, joy, it's something that needs to be revealed. And this means there's fear behind, there's judgment behind, and you need to learn to transcend this judgment and just let go. And this is a constant process of transformation until you completely become this being of love and this compassionate witness in which you do not judge anymore, even yourself or others, because when you judge others, there's always something that you judge in yourself. Only what you don't like in yourself is what you judge in others. And this is the reflection. Again, when you look at something or someone that you can't stand, there's something within you that needs to be embraced.
Yeah, I love that. So I think I think that we want, as humans, we want there to be an easy pill, like an easy button, and you can just say, these magic words, and life is just going to shift, and we can just change our beliefs like that. And sometimes it does happen like that. But what I hear you saying is what I understand as the work. For me, when I think about what is the inner work that I need to do on a daily basis, it's really to manage my mindset. And for me, it looks a lot like what you're saying. Like, I have to say to myself, I choose to trust. I believe in myself. I know I'm fully supported. And that is a journey, and that is a constant process. It's not necessarily overnight, but by doing that and by believing that and by stepping out in faith towards that, my experience has been that my beliefs do change over time because I'm programming my mind and my beliefs with those words on a consistent basis, and that has helped me. Is there anything else that you would say for people struggling with this right now, Sophia?
Yeah. If you only stay to the level of the mind, it won't change, because the mind, this is the process of creation. It starts with an image in your mind, but what changes everything is your emotions. Your emotions is energy in motion. So you need to think, okay, I choose to become abundant, I choose to become love, I choose to trust myself. But then your whole body, your whole energy needs to be in the same direction. You need to truly trust yourself. You have this feeling of love within you. You have this feeling of abundance. So this is what changes everything. Not just because I choose to think it's going to happen. You need to feel your entire body to feel it. So every part of your body, every cell holds your consciousness. So you need to raise your vibration, because every cell of your body holds your belief system, your emotions, and this is what needs to be upgraded. And this is a constant. I believe that the thing is, when you sit in meditation, when you stay present, when you feel whatever it is that you want to manifest, you really feel this, starting with gratitude, starting with happiness, then you start shifting your reality by accepting who you are right now, no matter what's happening in your life. And from that process, even if you are struggling so much, if you want to shift this situation, it's by, first of all, being grateful. I am here in this moment, in this situation. It was created by me because I need to learn something. So I'm grateful that this situation is showing me something that I need to be aware of, so that I can become my highest expression of myself. This is what is going to start to shift everything, this gratitude, because you shift from fear or worry to gratitude. You start raising your vibration. And from here, then you start being present in a process of not judging everything that you are experiencing, by accepting it. And then this starts to even increase the vibration until you get out of the hole, the deep, this darkness and this hole, and you start shifting the vibration. And the more that you raise up, the more everything transforms. Yet
I'm so glad you said that, Sophia, because gratitude is also what I teach, and in order to shift our emotions and our feelings, we have to do something different. And so when we focus on gratitude, that can shift the vibration. In fact, that raises the vibration. And my experience is, when we raise our vibration through gratitude, it is from that place that we can intentionally create the reality that we want to step into. So thank you for mentioning that. I think it's really important for people to understand and to see right now. I want to make sure we have time to talk about your inner child workshop. So would you mind talking a little bit about what is the inner child, and why do we need to heal the inner child? And then tell us more about this workshop that you have, if you could, please.
Okay. Your inner child is actually the human being, this some people say the ego mind, some people say the personality. Actually, the ego child is that wounded expression of yourself that is in resistance mode. And this is the one that prevents you from living your highest expression, that prevents you from living your best life. Until you go deep within and you face this inner child and all the wounds, and embrace it and accept it and love it, nothing changes. So this is the most powerful process, so that you can shift your reality, going within, learning to see your inner child, connect with it, knowing what's going on within. And then this comes the process of healing this wounded space, so that you can become love, so that you can become this, raise your vibration, so that then you start connecting with your divine self, which is your true expression of yourself. You are shifting from the inner child, not shifting, embracing it, and merging with the divine self. The divine is who you really are, your powerful self, the one that is unlimited, the one that has all the tools, the one that knows your entire existence, the one that can bring everything that you need in every moment. So you need to first go deep within with the inner child, and then enlighten this inner child. And when you are enlightened this inner child, you merge the inner child with the divine, and then dissolve everything that was preventing you from living this reality. And that's why it's so important to first heal the inner child. Healing the inner child is the process of embracing this wounded space within you and transcend it into love. And this is what it's about, this free workshop, because to ascend into the fifth dimension and beyond, it's about unconditional love. And unconditional love is the most powerful tool that we have, because this is what rules the entire universe. And we have to learn to change this conditional love that we have because of the wounded space within us, and turn it into unconditional love, fully embrace everything. And this is when reality changes completely. And then you allow everything to unfold easily, magically, with grace, with miracles can be expressed in your life suddenly, even without you asking for it.
I had a big aha recently, which was about consciousness, and how if I could embrace meditation and really being having more conscious awareness, and get out of my thinking mind, then I could amplify what I'm doing so much more and not be so stuck, going around and around and trying to affect the world by doing more and working harder, and which is the old paradigm, right? It's the 3D way, but the 5D way is what, like you said, with grace and ease, but it requires that conscious awareness and that shifting of focus. And I want to say something about the healing and the raising the vibration. In my own healing journey, I came across David Hawkins, who has the scale of consciousness. I wish I had it ready to show you, but you can Google scale of consciousness, David Hawkins, and you can see what Sophia was talking about with the consciousness level. So basically he measured all these things and the lower vibrations. Also the work of Dr. Tennant, who I've studied with, who lives in Texas, but he's healed people of all kinds of things with his energy devices. And well, I'm not making health claims, but anyway, it's amazing the things that I've learned from him and hearing the testimonials. But the point is, he also studied, and he's a Ivy League doctor, and he's written 40 books, and he really maps it out from even a scientific perspective, how everything has a frequency. And so when we're down here at the lowest frequency, you have disease and death and dying and cancer and all these horrible things that nobody wants. And then as you go further up the scale, you get to the good stuff, the fun stuff, acceptance and all the pleasant things. And eventually you get to love and you get to oneness, way up here. But seeing it for people that are like me, that are a lot in their thinking minds, being able to see it on a chart and know that it is measurable, I think was helpful for me. So when you say heal the inner child, I can see in my mind's eye the elevation, and maybe you can talk a little bit more about the whole idea of ascension. But if we talk in terms of frequencies, and we talk about the lower frequency, the density, the heaviness, death, and pain, and all that is down here, and we do the healing work, then what we're doing, it makes sense that we're raising our frequency, we're raising our vibration, we're moving from the lower frequencies to the higher frequencies, which are closer to love. And the closer we can get to love and those higher frequencies is where we get the joy and the bliss and the good stuff that everybody wants. Can you say a few more words about the ascension process, Sophia? I know there are people listening that have maybe heard the words. It's a buzzword right now, but what does it really mean? Maybe you can talk about it in a plain language way that's better than how I can explain it.
Yeah. So what you said is true. So when you are in lower vibrations, everything goes through the process of cause and effect, action and reaction, and the energy wants to complete itself. So if the energy, all that you create is not from this vibration of love, it tends to destroy, to be created again until it becomes love. This means our bodies tend to destroy. This means going through the process of death and rebirth over and over again until we are able to become this unconditional love, until we are able to embrace, fully embrace our experiences, everything that we have gone through, our lives, ourselves, etc. So yeah, the process at the beginning, during a time from the third dimension to the fifth dimension, is healing. So healing is going through the fourth dimension, which is raising the vibration, learning how to shift this frequency, this reality, learning to complete cycles, learning to love. Eventually, when you go to beyond this process of healing, because you in this meditation processes, and this is a powerful technique that I invite everybody to do. When you are in meditation, and it's important to set aside time every day, is connecting with the divine within. So being aware that the divine is within you, not outside you, and feel this love within you, feel this expression, this light, and start to understand it is anchored in your heart and in your mind, and fully feel this divine within you. Eventually, when you go through this process of healing and removing these parts of yourself that maybe you have been stuck for many, many, many lifetimes, and now it's the time to just let go, to just surrender, just forgive and embrace. Then you go to the process in which you don't need to heal anymore, because you already know you are healed. You already know that you are forgiven, because you are this love, you are this light. The divine is within you, not just without. And then you start to understand the divine is within and without, and there's no difference. And this is where unity happens, because everything is one. Everything comes from the same energy. But it goes beyond just words or just the mind. It becomes a fully understanding within yourself of this knowledge. And this is when these higher senses start to open. And this is when you can see reality beyond the third dimension. This is when you start to understand beyond the third dimension, because your higher senses are opened, and you understand that realities are far beyond what you saw before, and you hear and you feel, and something expands in a whole completely new way. It's like being blind and suddenly you see. The world it's completely different than when you were blind. And this is the ascension process, because eventually it comes a moment in which there's no more energy to complete. The cycle is already complete, and you finish the cycles of death and rebirth. And this is the time when there's the full liberation of the body, the full liberation of the cells, and the body becomes immortalized. And this is where we are healing the entire humanity. It's a choice, but this is where we are healing. And in less than 50 years, 100 million people will become to that level of super consciousness. So wow. It's a matter of just entering and accessing this process, because this process, it takes your commitment every day. It doesn't happen just suddenly. It happens because you choose to raise your vibration, complete all these cycles, complete the energy, and just choose unconditional love every time. And at the beginning, you don't know how to do this, and you need someone to help to help you. So in my case, I never stopped learning. I never stopped going through different teachers and processes until I found the ones that were the highest expression. The most important thing is look for someone that have gone through the process, someone that really knows and embodies the transformation, because this is when you will receive so much from them, not just from words, but from their energy, because their energy have the key and the clue to open your own energy and to help you to raise your vibration and to help you to open the path of ascension.
So I would encourage you, if you're interested in listening to Sophia's voice, and her voice is resonating with you, check out the Heal Your Inner Child free workshop. I think it's coming up soon, right, Sophia? Is it a live event or is it recorded?
It's a live event. After that, if people see this video afterwards, it will be recorded, so they will have access as well. And even if they want to go further, there's the program to go through the process of loving yourself, opening to the frequencies of love, opening your heart, because this is the process that will lead them to the next level of awareness and raising this vibration. So there's many ways to get to that place. First, there's this free workshop so that they can start the process. This the second part, which is the enlightening of the inner child, which is connecting the inner child with the divine self. And then the third part, if you want to go through the whole journey, is fully embracing these frequencies of love. There's a powerful transformation that occurs, and there's a before and an after of this process, because you fully embrace love, you raise your vibration, and you get to know yourself. You let go so many issues from the past. You complete so many energies. You start to understand the Christ energy, what it is, the Christ teachings, the sacred union of the masculine and the feminine, which is necessary for this ascension process. So it's a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful process.
That is beautiful. Yeah. And so if you are listening either live right now or to the replay, put replay, #replay when you watch it. And if you're interested in a live, I bet we could probably get Sophia back for a live Q&A. If some of these topics, if they're new to you, even if they're not new to you, this can be confusing to a lot of people. And it certainly benefits you to, if you're involved in this process, to have a guide. And so Sophia's, I just want to point back to your purpose. So part of your purpose is to be a guide. That profile, the 6th line, is to be a guide. And it's not to say that if you're not a 6th line, you can't be a guide. But anyway, that is uniquely what Sophia is designed to do. And you're here to have a big impact, Sophia. And I know you are. And, even I say the vision of the Know Yourself Revolution Summit and podcast is to positively impact 5 billion people by 2025. And a lot of people question, how could you possibly do that? 5 billion people, that's more than half of the people on the planet. But I believe that you understand what I'm talking about here, because I'm looking at frequency, and I'm looking at coalition, and I'm looking at collaboration with partners, and like you're holding a frequency, you're holding a very high frequency. And I know I'm holding a high frequency. And when we work together and we work in alignment with others who are also holding a higher frequency, it creates a field which brings everyone up. And, there's that saying, the rising tide raises all ships, or something. And so that's how I see it. When we live our purpose and we live our we share our light like you're doing, Sophia, by sharing your story and sharing these opportunities for healing and knowledge, sharing your very vast wisdom that you've gained in this life and from what you brought here as well. We can help others, so we do this through frequency. It's not just a very 3D way of, well, how many people are in your social media network. It's not about that. It's about frequency. So I'm so glad that you that you get it. I'm so grateful for the work that you do. Thank you for sharing your story about how to face the shadows to reveal the light within. Thank you for holding that light for us all, holding that frequency. And if you're watching either live or replay and you want a live Q&A with Sophia, please sign up for the Know Yourself Revolution Summit. knowyourselfrevolution.com. So we have more interviews starting on the 20th, and we're going to have lives from that point where we have a Facebook group, and if you're not into Facebook, we can do it with another link. So the point is, we want to get you the support that you need and want, and I know Sophia is here to be a guide to help support you in your journey. So if you like the idea of healing your inner child, as I do, it keeps popping up in my world. I need to heal my inner child. What the heck does that mean? How do I do it? Here's a workshop, and Sophia has already anticipated that challenge. And so check out the Inner Child workshop that's coming up soon. Make sure you sign up today because I think it's happening in the next couple days. And then join us for the Know Yourself Revolution Summit, which starts on January 20th, where we'll have, from that point, we can schedule time with Sophia to do a live if we get requests for it. And we'll have lives with some of the other speakers as well. Be sure to upgrade to VIP if you want to be involved in those live Q&As. And there's a lot of other benefits too. We looked at Sophia's chart at the beginning. We touched on her human design. If you want to understand your human design energy blueprint, you want to see your life purpose roadmap, that is one of the benefits of getting VIP. It's not just the chart, but you'll have pages of plain language to help you understand what it means as far as your purpose, because we all want to live on purpose. We know that when we're living on purpose, we're living our purpose, life is going to be so much easier and fun. It's going to be enjoyable, meaningful. I have a lot of friends who have the ability right now to just be flexible and live where they want. I know you're in Spain, Sophia. Maybe one of these days we can meet up in Spain. I've been there before, and it's a beautiful place. So we have family all over, and I think of you as family. I think all of those of us who are part of the Know Yourself Revolution, if you're listening, you're within the sound of my voice. You're part of us. You're one of us. You're part of the Know Yourself Revolution. It means that you have others holding space and carrying that frequency all around the world, because we're united in a single mission to shift the frequency of the planet in a positive direction. In this case, what that means is we stand in our own power. We know who we are. We practice knowing ourselves, loving ourselves, trusting ourselves, tapping into our intuition, listening to our inner guidance system. And it's from that place that we can be in our full power, and we can stop giving our power away, and we can make better, more aligned choices, and we can help the world in a way that's different than probably what we thought when we were growing up. It's not necessarily about putting one brick on top of the other. It can be, it sounds esoteric maybe to some people, but holding the frequency is a super important thing, especially at this time when we're going through so many changes on Earth. So some of these things may be unfamiliar to you. If they are, be sure to ask for a replay, ask for a live, upgrade to VIP so you can get personalized help and support in your journey. Thank you so much, Sophia, for being a guest on the podcast today. And I'm so excited for you holding space in Spain. And I'm here in Austin, Texas, and yet we can communicate live right now and share, we can support each other in holding a high frequency for everyone who feels aligned with this. Is there any last words that you want to say before we close out?
Yeah, I would like to. You mentioned a few things that are very, very important. One of them is that in the future, as we become more into oneness, communities become very, very important. So the more that we are joining together for one same purpose, the energy grows exponentially, and this will become expanding more and more and more. So if you have seen in your vision that you are going to reach out 5 billion people, it's because this is going to happen actually, because this year it's going to be a year of full awakening for the majority of humanity. It's going to go through a process of inner awakening and asking for more. And this is when people are going to get in touch with how can I shift into the next level? How can I go and evolve? How can I understand what's going on within me? I know there's something bigger, there's something else, and I want to know more of that. I want to evolve to the next level. And this is when you and me and all these other people are going to lead the path of all that we have gone through for so many, many, many years, because people are going to need this as they awaken. And this will be a powerful year of shift and awakening for many, 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 many souls. And we are here for all of them.
Yes, we are here, we are aligned, and we are all part of the Know Yourself revolution. So if you're within the sound of my voice, you are one of us. Thank you for holding space. Thank you for being part of the family. And thank you for doing your part to do the inner work, to know yourself, love yourself, and trust yourself, and listen to your inner guidance system, because you're being guided for a reason. And when you're listening to that inner guidance, you're going to be living on purpose. You'll know that because it will feel good in your body, and it will not be so frustrating. So many of us have all that experience being frustrated and not living in alignment. So anyway, we should wrap it up for now. Thank you so much, Sophia, for being here. Like I said, if you're watching the replay or you're watching live and you want a live Q&A with Sophia, please put it in the chat, and upgrade to VIP as well, so you can enjoy all of the live Q&As that we'll be having during the course of the summit. And let us know what you need. We have a Facebook group. You may be watching from one of the other. We're live streaming now to Facebook, to YouTube, to multiple groups. So wherever you are watching from right now, be sure to put it in the chat. What you need, what would support you most at this time, and if it involves Sophia and doing a live Q&A or whatever it is, we will do our best. And if you are not part of the Know Yourself Revolution Facebook group, we will be having a lot of activities there, so please check that out. It is an open group, so anybody can join. And yeah, let me know if you have any questions. Thanks again for your time, Sophia. It's such a pleasure and an honor to host you as part of this podcast and part of the Know Yourself Revolution. Thank you for being here.
Thank you very much. It's an honor to be here. It's an honor to be part of this Know Yourself Revolution and joining you today. So I'm so grateful. Thank you very much.
Thank you. And if you're watching, be sure to join us by logging in to knowyourselfrevolution.com and sign up for the summit starting on January 20th. It is free, but you'll get notifications when you sign up. So thank you for joining us.